Alright guys, it's Double Wide 6 back. Today I got a little bit of a video for you. This video is on how to wire up a hidden switch to your electric garage door opener. I know they make those keypad things that you can type in a code, but it's easier if you just put a button on your door, and these are some old buttons that I have, and just use one of these little buttons to open your door. So I'm going to show you guys how to wire this thing up and how to hide it on your house. Alright, so here you go. The first thing that you guys want to do is get your digital multimeter, and you want to take the dial. We'll turn it on here, and we want to turn it to ohms. Ohms is this thing that looks like the upside down horseshoe, and what we're going to do is we're going to run a continuity test. And my meter's set up so that when I touch my probes together, if electricity flows through out of one probe and into the other, or makes contact, that's showing me that we have a closed circuit. So we're going to take these needles and we're going to diagnose how we can wire up one of these little switches. This happens to be from a TV that was broken, and it has about 5 little switches on it. And what I'm going to do is just cut this off and just use this switch. There's a switch and actually a resistor with it. And these are good for up to about 5 volts. Okay? So now I'm going to show you how to test the switch to see how we need to wire it up. Alright guys, here's a look at the switch we're looking at. Basically it's just a push button switch. You have 1, 2 legs and 1, 2 legs on that side, and there's your resistor. What we want to do is check for continuity, and we want it so that when you push the button it beeps. So that means you'll be making a connection. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put one of my leads right here, and I'm going to put my other lead there. And I don't know if you can hear that, but that's beeping. Okay, I don't have the switch pushed in, so if I wire that up, my door is gonna like constantly move, and that's not what you want. You want it so that when you touch a terminal and then hit the button, it beeps. And right there it is. I know it's a little hard to see, but it looks like they go kind of catty corner. So I'm going to mark the 2 terminals that I need to solder to. 1, 2. Okay, so I just put some little marks on there with my probes. It's going to be those 2 terminals. Alright, so here I just have some standard garage door wire, and we're going to take it and we're actually going to split it. So we'll put it down here, and we'll just split it in half just like that. Alright, then we're going to get our wire strippers. We're going to strip the ends. So we'll line that up with like 18 gauge. There's one, and there's the other. So we'll strip both of those, and now we're going to tin them. Alright, so now we're going to tin up these wires. Here I have soldering paste or flux. Just dipping the wires in that. That's going to help the solder flow. And here's my solder. Taking my needle, and it's just making the ends of these wires silver. That way they're going to be easy to stick to the terminals on the back of that switch. So the next step after you have those babies tinned is to take needle nose pliers, and we're actually going to bend a hook on there on each one of these, and that way they'll be a little easier to solder onto the terminals. Alright, now looking at the back of the switch, we're going to take that little hook and we're going to line it up with the terminal, and I'm going to use some surgical pliers, you know, these type of things that lock in place, to actually clamp it in place. Just going to do like 1 click and keep it in place, and then we're going to actually apply our solder right to that joint. So we'll try and zoom in so you can see how it goes. Alright, so I'm going to take my soldering needle, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of solder to it. I know it's hard to see. And I'm going to take that solder and I'm going to actually apply it to the terminal. That's soldered, but there's a little tail on there, so I'm just going to flatten that out. Doesn't have to be perfect. That looks good. And then you want to do the same with the other wire to the other terminal. Alright, I have terminal 2 clamped, ready to go. Just going to apply some solder, get it hot. Try and get the solder flowing. It's going to need a little more on my needle. There we go. Looks good. That should hold well. Alright, once you get that thing soldered, what you want to do is hook up your meter needles to the other ends of the wire there. And I'll back out so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just going to run another continuity test. So, sorry there, I bumped the record button. But we're going to run another continuity test. So when I hit the button, right now my meter's on, I'm doing an ohms test. I'm clicking the button and that's showing me I have continuity. So that switch is wired up, ready to go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off the other switches because I only need one switch for my garage door. The easiest way for me to cut this off is to just take my diagonal cutters. There's a hole right in the middle of this. Snip, and that'll go right through just like that. Okay, so now the switch is ready to go. So to wire this thing up, you got to figure out where your buttons are to move your garage door up and down. On the back of your buttons are 2 screw terminals. If you just connect, you can double up the wires. One wire on each screw will work, and you can double it up with the other wire. That goes back up to there. Or you can go to screw 1 and 2 on a Genie garage door opener and run a wire out to your hidden switch. So, the switch, where can you actually hide it? Anywhere you want. You probably don't want to put it right where the garage door is, so I put it on the side of my building. I actually have it underneath a shutter, and I'll show you what that looks like, and you'll be able to see it work because it's all hooked up. So we're going over here, and if you look underneath, here's a shutter. If you look underneath, I don't know if you can see it, but I put the button underneath here. So all we have to do is just push, and that'll make the garage door go up and down. Push it again, and that'll stop it. So the nice thing about that is it's really well hidden. You can't see it. The switch is so small, and you don't even have to put it on your garage door. You could actually, you know, run it to a fence or run it, you know, to another part of your house that's not so obvious. Alright, so that's how to do this. Hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully you enjoy my videos. If you do, you can subscribe. I'll be making some more videos on the installation of the building up my shed. Alright, so check me out. It's Double Wide 6. Thanks for watching. I'll see you.